Normal Redditors that dated a celebrity, what was it like? Post by Dutskii. A fairly close acquaintance of mine at the time went on a few dates with Natalie Portman when they were both at Harvard around 2002. He said she was exceptionally down-to-earth, genuine, and very engaging. She's fine. It's her boyfriend from Asgard you have to watch out for. Rosario Dawson liked 2 of my tweets once, so you could say it was getting pretty serious. Just drop out already, Senator Booker. My mom had a dinner date with George Clooney in the 90s. She didn't really say much apart from the fact that he's an interesting and charismatic guy, but she honestly didn't think he was going to blow up. Not a date, per se, but I had a nice quiet dinner with Samantha Fox in her hotel room in Toronto in the 80s. She was in town for a show and I was attached to her security detail. She asked me to eat with her because she didn't want to go out but hated eating alone. Sweet girl, kinda sad too. Lonely. Edit, well that blew up. I don't remember a lot of details, what we ate etc. But I do remember we talked about her growing up in the UK and being still amazed at her success. I do remember she said she looked forward to seeing the world on tour, but apparently the world all looked like the same hotel room. She never got to just explore and play tourist. Wow. She seemed like the sexiest woman alive to me when I was young in the 80s. This thread has taught me that as an aunt I really need to up my dating game so my nibblings will have better stories. A family friend's mom went clubbing with Lady Gaga. Afterwards, Gaga asked if she knew who she was. Friend's mom had no idea. My aunt lived down the street from Leonardo DiCaprio when she was a kid. He was her first kiss. She was 12, he was 13, it was behind the school gym. Apparently he was a really nice kid. She moved away before he started landing roles, totally lost touch. Imagine trying to get with this girl, then you find out that her last guy was Leonardo DiCaprio. Not me, but my aunt dated Matthew McConaughey before he was famous. He ended up getting invited to her wedding to my normal uncle, and proceeded to pass out drunk in the back of my family's car. He refused to leave, and now my dad refuses to watch his movies. Alright. My aunt went on a date with Jimmy Buffett. She said he picked her up, stopped at a gas station, bought a jar of pickles and then drove to the beach. They ate pickles and he took her home. Little did she know he went on many dates like this, slowly eating each of the components of a cheeseburger on each subsequent date. My aunt kissed Gordon Lightfoot in a bathroom at one of his concerts. I'm guessing there was probably more, but she didn't elaborate. I have a family friend who dated Daniel Radcliffe. I was 7 at the time they dated, and a huge Harry Potter fan. I don't remember much aside from the fact that he was a really sweet guy. On my 8th birthday, my family friend told Daniel it was my birthday and he texted me a personal happy birthday message despite never having met me. Absolutely made it the best birthday ever. Probably too late for this, but about 15 years ago, when the show The Simple Life, with Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie was popular, I made out with Paris Hilton at a nightclub in Baltimore. Essentially, they were filming them doing all sorts of random jobs around the country and staying with local families, all for the culture clash laughs. One of those families ended up being my friend and her family. Being a close friend, and a well-known admirer of Paris at the time, I was invited over and got to hang with her and Nicole Richie a good amount while they were in town. Both of them were super sweet, and a lot smarter than they played for the camera. Paris was a great kisser and this story is always a hit with my friends. A few months later, her phone was hacked and nudes were leaked. My number was in her phone book and I got spammed with prank calls from 4chan, or something. I imagine it was a lot worse for anyone who was actually famous. Anyhow, basically lost total contact after that. But still a fun story. Jonah Hill awkwardly slid me his number when I worked in a hotel he was staying at. We went to coffee once and he got super clingy. Asked me for nudes every day. I was 20 and a virgin. He wanted to throw me a 21 Street birthday party in Palm Springs, and when I politely declined he turned real nice guy. He wasn't even funny. That's like super bad. Friend of mine dated Brad Pitt in college. 2 or 3 dates if I remember correctly. I went to a different school, but remember meeting him when I went to visit my friend. My old English teacher is good friends with Serj Tankian, lead singer of System of a Down, and she always talked about having coffee with him, and I'm still jealous to this day. Did she have chop suey with him too? I had an English teacher that went on a date with Mark Hamill just after filming Star Wars in the 70s. She said he was a nice guy and was very humble. He said he was a small-time actor and said he had just finished a new movie that he thought might be successful. They only went out once and she never heard from him again. Saw him in Star Wars a few months later and had her mind blown. Not a romantic date in the least, but I had dinner once at a Japanese restaurant in a group setting with Leonardo DiCaprio while he was in Louisiana filming Django Unchained. He wanted to know what college was like and was asking us all about our lives. He also let me try his udon. It was my first ever Instagram post. He really is such a nice guy in the limelight, and in real life it felt like we were hanging out with our friend. My mom dated Keanu Reeves back in high school. She broke up with him because he was too focused on his band with his friends at the time. If only. Hooked up with a chick who was in a soap opera a few times. Didn't know it at the time but recognized her when I was at my grandmother's and she had her show playing. My aunt was in an off-again-on-again relationship with David Bowie. She was probably about 20 years younger than him. But he first saw her at a party in LA and a woman came up to her and asked her if she wanted to meet David. He would put in her shoes and dance around. She said it was very sad to watch him throughout the years as he became addicted to cocaine. She was also on the 1980 Playboy cover with Steve Martin. They went out for drinks a few times after that and said he was mostly shy and very quiet. She had a signed copy from him that said, "Thanks Amy, for you know what." I unknowingly went out with a former porn star a few times. She never really talked about her past work. I didn't find out until I was doing research online. It is weird feeling seeing someone you went out with getting f***ed by 8 or 9 random dudes. My wife briefly dated Louis C.K. back in 2012. She says it seems kind of awful to be famous. Any time they went out to eat or were in public they were just constantly interrupted or stared at. He came to her b-day party at some little bowling alley in Brooklyn though and was pretty cool. The story that always sticks with me is that one day he went out and bought a $150,000 watch because he felt sad. You are an absolute legend for making it to the end. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please hit that like button. And if you can't get enough, consider subscribing. See you around.